Hey, so what I think we should start doing is anybody that you know for sure is a part of your targeting, your harassment, you need to name them. Because if this whole thing is about smear campaign and it's about people who you may have known for years, then it there's validity in that. They're not gonna be able to just say that you're making this up, and a lot of times you have to use their own stupidity against them because if someone's going to become upset because you're exposing them, well, then that leads for a conversation. So, my neighbors have a daughter. Her name is Brisha Webb, and she's a D-list celebrity. I guess that's what you want to call her. Anyway, their name is Sharon Webb and Garfield Webb. They have a loser son. His name is Garen Webb. I've known them for all my life. And I have another named Rob. I think he's a part of the police department, or he has some ties with the police. And another lady, Salome. Not really sure, but I know she's an educator. They have a correctional officer, or he works for the state in some capacity. His name is Carl. Then there's two women, that's what you want to call them, that lives next to me, and they're related to the Webbs as well. There's other people in here, I just don't know their names, but when I feel like it, I'll get to it. But the point of this video is, if they want to try and smear our names, and they want to talk bad about us, and spread lies and rumors, and watch us, we'll give them something to talk about. If you know for sure that you have family members, like my mother's name is Gloria, my grandmother's name is Jean, dad's name is Donald, brother's name are Elijah and DJ, right? If you know that people are part of your harassment and they get a kick out of it, well, expose the real criminals, because we're not criminals. Most of us, I know I've never been arrested. I've never had a misdemeanor, nothing. So I think it's time for us to fight fire with fire, because what they're expecting is for us to accept their narrative of the Most High, right? They want us to accept everything that they give us and be passive little dogs and, let them follow us around and let them harass us and watch us in our houses and so on and so forth. I'm not doing that. I've never done that. But one thing I am going to do is I'm going to make it an effort to get them doing stupid things. Like I said, they like to bang on the walls. They have a burglar door. They like to slam that. They'll use animals for barking. They'll use cut grass. A lot of times what they do now is because I've kind of ignored everything that they've been doing. So they like to cut grass, and I'll be gone. I may leave my house for a couple of days, and I'll come back, and miraculously they have to cut grass for a couple of hours. It doesn't bother me because I can sound out the noise, but I understand what the purpose of, and they fail every time. But the point about saying is not to ramble on is start documenting those people that you know are targeting you. You have to know. Like, I know my family's a part of it. I know some people say they feel like their family's coerced and threat. I mean, you got to understand, if they blackmail your family and threaten them, why didn't they ever come to us? Why didn't they come to us and threaten us? Why didn't we get a phone call from where our family got a phone call from? Because I'm really understanding, right, overstanding now, that when the Bible says, Most High says, when your mother and father forsake you, then the Most High will take you up. Right? It's very true. I mean, the Most High is not going to speak about things prior to them happening. But He knows they're going to happen. So I know a lot of people see the physical aspect of this, but understand that our enemies believe in the spirit world wholeheartedly. They do. They manipulate the spirit world. They sacrifice for the spirit world. So it's time that we start understanding the spirit world more inclined. And I'm not talking to all of my targeted individuals, friends, or my empowered friends. I'm talking about some of us that may just be on the new wave like I was, because I'm telling you, a couple of years ago I didn't want to hear about the spiritual. I believed in the Most High. I still do. My faith wasn't wavered. I was very confused, but I also was very aware that I'm like, no, bro, I'm seeing this physically. This is physically happening to me. I don't want to hear nothing about that spiritual. But now, 3 years later, with some discernment and wisdom that I've been given, I can tell you that this is definitely 70-30, 70 being spiritual. But again, I appreciate all my subscribers. I appreciate those who listen to me rant, because at the end of the day, man, if you're going through this, you really can't trust anybody. You can't even trust people who say that they're targeted. So, the Most High says to be wise as serpents and harmless as dove. I'm still working on the harmless part. Shalom.